Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. President William Samoei Ruto jetted out of the country at night. Destination, the USA. When I mention USA, the first thing that comes to my mind is that our nation, our country is being run from Washington, D.C. That is where everything is being planned. William Ruto is just to implement what he is given. Now, this communication was given by State House spokesperson Hussein Mohammed, and Hussein really painted a very complex picture of what William Ruto is going to undertake in the USA, because he says there that Ruto's going to the USA confirms his commitment to tech innovation and a role that Kenya plays as a pivotal role as a trade partner to the USA. And Hussein says that when William Ruto reaches the USA, he is going to the Silicon Valley in San Francisco, and while there he's going to meet tech leaders of Microsoft, Intel, Google, among other established technologies there, and is going to discuss the role of the Kenyan young innovators and green energy, and look at a possible ways of partnership there, investment opportunities. Then Ruto is also going to attend the 78th General Assembly, the United General Assembly in New York, and that is going to, among other things, look at the progress of 2030 and sustainable development goals. That is what is going to be discussed at the 78th United General Assembly in the New York. Thereafter, Hussein continued to say that William Ruto will have an opportunity to chair a session of heads of African presidents on climate. You remember that just the other day, William Ruto chaired a meeting of African Climate Summit. William Ruto has really presented himself as a man who is very busy and committed to climate. You know why? He knows that something is there, and he's also going to chair what we call a high-level panel of sustainable ocean economy. So William Ruto is going to be a very busy man. That is what has been given by Hussein Mohammed. Now, this journey, as he flies out, he's leaving back very many questions that are supposed to be asked. Because number one, when William Ruto flies out, and we are told that he's going there, proves that he's committed to tech innovation. One person would want to ask, just the other day, we were informed that the government, the Kenya Kwanza government, has imposed taxes on phones and electronic gadgets. And that means that phones, things like USB phones and computers and laptops, the prices are going to go up. Yet we're in a country where the president is telling us that he's techno savvy and is committed to innovation, where young people are supposed to be given an easy environment, a pacifying environment for doing business, venturing in technology, and you wonder, how are we promoting our young people? Because when we go outside there, we really talk as if we care so much about our people. So that is one question that many people are asking, that William Ruto is not acting at home what is preaching outside there. But remember too that William Ruto is going there after a day after the apex court, the Supreme Court, had ruled with a lot of authority that the gay persons and lesbians, generally the LGBTQ plus, have freedom of association. Remember, this has been at the center of altercation and disagreement between some of our African heads of states and the Western nations. You remember just the other day, the president of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, disagreed very sharply with the USA, and as a result, World Bank stopped giving them loan, stopped some aid that were given from the US and the UK. So President William Ruto knew very well that before he gets there, and of course there were a lot of push and pull from several rights groups from the USA for William Ruto to declare and veto the passage of this a bill that will allow the same-sex marriage. Now what he has done, like I said yesterday, he doesn't want to go at loggerheads with the church. Neither does he want to be at loggerheads with the international community. So what he has done is that he's playing safe, and once that has been passed and they are allowed to form an association, then as he goes there, he's a person who will really look as a committed man to the freedom and rights of the LGBTQ plus. And so he's a very, very easygoing man as he stands there to talk. The level of respect that William Ruto has been given outside there, he presents himself as one of the most learned presidents in Africa, Daktari William Samoei Ruto. He presents himself as someone who is committed to championing the climate agenda, and he says he's planting very many trees. And he presents himself as someone who is championing the agenda of the USA. Remember, he even refused to attend the Russia-African summit. So he is a pro-West. While at the same time, if you don't scrutinize him carefully, he's talking about over-dependence on dollar and the need to now spread our wings to look at other partners. The last question that people are asking is, who is in charge? Because the president is not in the country, and so is the deputy president. What does our constitution say? Is it the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Masika Wetangula, or is he another son of Mulembe, Moses Mudavadi, who is the chief minister? Who is really in charge? That is one question that people are asking. But on the other flip, William Ruto lives a country that is in limbo economically and politically, because just before he flew out, the opposition had cried foul that the agenda that was set at Bomas, the bipartisan talk, is being frustrated from the government, and his deputy has always talked ill of and trivialized the talks that are going on in Bomas. In fact, Raila is expected to have to announce to the country his next move. Maybe he's going to say that he's pulling out, and that would mean that maybe people are going back to the streets. And so he's leaving a country that is really shaky because there is no unity. He met the ODM rebels that Raila had expelled, while Raila is trying to talk about respect to the constitution and respect to political parties, and William Ruto confirms. He even promised the USA and the UK that he wants a strong opposition, yet is interfering with the members that have crossed to him, and he doesn't want them to go and seek a fresh mandate. The other thing that people are looking at is that he's marking 1 year in office. And people, in fact, the opinion polls that were given is that several people, almost 3/4 of citizens, believe that Kenya is not in the right direction, that they're citing the high cost of living, the prices of basic commodities are really skyrocketing. We have Al-Shabaab ravaging the country, insecurity, and political instability in our country. So as he flies out there, as he will be standing before the other heads of states and chairing sessions of African heads of states and intergovernmental, bilateral talks, and there he will be in a suit and speaking good English. Back at home, things are not good, and the world must understand that, because sometimes we sit before the heads of other nations, and they think that things are good. But if there is one person who knows exactly what is happening, it is the US, because back at home they have their representatives like Meg Whitman, and they are responsible for our predicaments, because all the high taxes, the removal of subsidies, and everything that we're suffering from emanates from the Western nations.